Hello all and welcome back to another wonderful video. Today we're going to be analyzing Pipp Petals. Pipp is one of my favorite characters from My Little Pony A New Generation, or My Little Pony Generation 5, however you want to say that. And I think they're a great character. I really do. They could have used more screen time, honestly, because there's some issues there where more screen time would have been worth it, but we'll get into that later. She was also the character that everyone was the most worried about before the movie came out because the smartphone. She was seen with a smartphone in promotional images and leaks even, so it worried a lot of people, myself included. Luckily, the smartphone thing didn't really get used all that much, and it wasn't used in a bad way when it was used, so I think we can finally calm down now and have high hopes for the phone and how it will be implemented in the series going forward. But in today's video, I want to go over Pipp's character and analyze her, so to speak. If this video does well, I'll make a similar video for Zip and then Hitch and then really all of the main 5 characters and stuff like that. I kind of already did something similar to this with Sprout. I made a video about Sprout's tragedy, his tragic life and all that stuff, sort of analyze his character and some stuff like that. And I think it turned out great. If you want to check that out, you can if you're interested in that character. But anyway, let's move on to Pipp, which is today's focus. Pipp is introduced somewhere early within the second act when Sunny and Izzy make their way to Zephyr Heights. They're obviously captured, they go up in the lift, and then there is this big introduction to her, which is a special message to her fans in the kingdom. She tells her fans that she has a special song planned for the celebration tonight, and that song that she plans to sing is very near and dear to her heart. We don't actually get an explanation on how or why or whatever that this song is important to her, but it clearly is because she literally tells everyone that it is. The song, of course, is Glow It Up. It's on Spotify if you want to listen to it. The only clues we can get that this song is special to her is the lyrics of that song. I can't share all the lyrics and I can't play the song or anything like that because of copyright reasons, but let's take a look at some of the notable lyrics and sort of analyze those because I think they tie into her character pretty interestingly. I used to care what they'd say, let them into my brain, but I found a new way. If this song is near and dear to Pipp's heart, then she must be talking about herself, right? If not, then she has to be talking about her sister or her mother or some friend that we've never seen. So I don't think it's going to be a friend because we never saw them, and I think we would have if she had some kind of important friend. That means whoever she is talking about, though, used to have self-confidence issues because they cared about what people thought about them, and that seems to fit Pipp more than Zip or their mother or some unknown character. We don't fly like we used to, take what we've been through, and we can feel brand new. This, to me, either means nothing or it means Pipp also feels upset or sorrow for the fact that they can't fly. This line could also be directly related to Zip as well, again adding more reason why the song is near and dear to her heart. We can't fly, but we can take what we've been through and be better for it. I know I'm a fighter, I feel the fire, I'm shining brighter. These lyrics imply that Pipp has been fighting for her confidence, that she didn't always have it, at least if the earlier lyrics were talking about herself. We got the light, coming in stronger, we're in it together. These lines could imply she's found encouragement or some sort of hope and confidence through all the struggles. And the more I read these lyrics out loud and the more I hear them all the time and stuff like that, it feels like they're talking about her relationship with Zip. Zip was upset that no one could fly, and there's lyrics talking about that, but also lyrics that almost show that Pipp and Zip helped each other through their struggles, and this song could be Pipp trying to give Zip that confidence back, essentially telling her, if you want it, it's all inside your mind. If you want, then you can paint the sky. It seems like encouraging words for someone like Zip who isn't over not being able to fly, or maybe just something that Zip can believe in and think positively about for the future. I want to look at more lyrics in a little bit, but from what I shared so far, I think it's possible the song is about her relationship with Zip and maybe even Pipp's relationship with her fans and her struggles in life. If that's the case, then the ending of that performance hits so much worse. Everything goes wrong. The secret about flight is revealed and Pipp looks to Zip and calls her name out. But she doesn't look to her mom for help, and she's not looking for anyone to blame. She's looking for guidance and for help, and she's looking
Zip?
at Zip. But in return, all she's met with is abandonment, and that hurts so much more if this song really was about her relationship with Zip. I've seen a lot of critiques about Pipp's characters, some saying stuff like she was always on her phone and that she was selfish and stuff like that. There was actually even some debates like this in the community post I made talking about the fact that I was going to make this video. These comments made some good points, but they also seemed kind of cherry-picky to me. For starters, Pipp was barely on her phone. I argued that in the post as well, saying that she was barely on her phone because, you know, after she meets the others, she's barely on her phone. And sure, when we first see her in person, so to speak, she's on her phone while all this important stuff is going on, but that scene is also very short. And sure, she uses her phone later at the dungeon, but not that much. She goes specifically there to take pictures of the prisoners because that's good for her fans and her content. And it may even also calm down the kingdom to see that the prisoners are behind bars. Maybe even Queen Haven sent her this way to do this. I mean, she does later tell her that Zip was visiting the prisoners, so... But half of this scene is her talking to Zip. She puts the phone away more than once, and after this scene, we literally don't see the phone again except for them to see the news reporting that they are fugitives, and for her to take a picture at the last 10 seconds of the movie or something like that. Like, it's used for like 2 seconds at the very end of the movie to take one picture. So for the majority of the second act and all of the third act, she doesn't even touch the phone. Anyone who says she was on her phone too much only remembers the scenes of her when she was introduced and was still being established. They've ignored the majority of the movie where her phone is not even touched, despite obviously having to have it because she had it when they escaped Zephyr Heights. It's like comparing 3 to 5 minutes of the movie to an hour. Like, she's in the movie for at least an hour, and for that whole hour, she's on her phone maybe 3 to 5 minutes. The majority of her screen time is off the phone, is what I'm trying to say here. The other critique is of Pipp being selfish. It's really strange to me because it just doesn't make any sense. I rewatched the movie before writing this script for this video, and I tried to take notes of selfish acts or anything of these negative qualities and stuff like that that I see all these critiques about, and I really didn't find any. Pipp acted exactly how anyone in their position would have. There's only a few moments that I can think about that might make people think she was selfish, so let's go over those. Number 1, lying about royals being able to fly. She kept the secret that only royals could fly from Sunny and Izzy because why would she tell these potentially dangerous outsiders that are prisoners that they can't fly? That doesn't make any sense. Her not telling anyone that they can fly and keeping that secret just doesn't make any sense. I mean, Zip kept that secret too. That's such a weird argument that I've seen. Number 2, being mad at Zip in the field. This is after the performance, and they're on the run or whatever, and they're going through this field, and they see the tree, and they're going in the new direction. They're almost to Bridlewood. She was very mad at Pipp and the others for ruining her performance, but she was just as mad because of their actions. Their entire family was criminals. She was mad at Zip for literally ruining everything. She had every right to be mad at Zip for doing that to them. She made them criminals. From Pipp's perspective, Zip was being selfish here. Zip risked their lives for a slim chance that strangers knew how to bring magic back, which sounds impossible to begin with. Pipp cares about Zip, and she was abandoned for these strangers they only just met. She turned them all into criminals and disrupted the entire kingdom, not just the family, because of strangers? She chose strangers instead of family? How could anyone not be mad about that? Pipp is justified here. She's completely justified in being mad at Zip and the others for this. Zip actually tries to convince Pipp that what they were doing was still worth it because they're going to be able to fly and they're going to be praised as heroes and stuff like that. This means nothing to Pipp. She doesn't care about that. She's still very upset with them after hearing this. If she was that selfish, wouldn't that be enough to turn her? Like, oh heck yeah, I'll be a hero. I'll be twice as famous. Then everyone will love me. That's the thought process or a response that you would probably expect if they were selfish, but that's not what you get. Instead, it's still not enough. She's still really mad at them and she still doesn't trust the others because why would you? That makes no sense. And number 3, I've seen this argument twice in comments. This one's saying Pipp would have stayed in the kingdom if the flying secret wasn't revealed, and therefore she is selfish for that reason. That doesn't make any sense. Wouldn't you do the same? You have no idea that these strangers can bring magic back. You have no idea if Zip wasn't being led into some kind of trap to be kidnapped and held for ransom or experimented on or some other crazy shit. You wouldn't have had any clue what was going to happen to Zip when she ran off with the prisoners. You would have been upset and sad that your sister was gone, and who knows, Pipp might have even chased after them if the secret wasn't let out because it's still her sister and she still cares about her. But the only reason people think this idea is selfish, that she would have stayed behind, is because they don't take into account the perspective of a character that knows nothing compared to the audience and the other characters. As the audience, we know Sunny and Izzy are good, obviously. We know that. Pipp doesn't know that, though. They have no idea. They were taught their whole life that both unicorns and earth ponies were evil. This idea ignores perspective and assumes way too much. To further my point that Pipp isn't selfish, let's take some notes about some other actions that she makes that suggest the very opposite. Number 1, she helps Zip and the others escape the kingdom with little to no hesitation. I mean, she literally takes the crown and doesn't return it to her mother, she takes it straight to Zip, and then she immediately helps them escape with little hesitation. Number 2, she gives Sunny the confidence to beat Alphabettle. Later on, she even warns Alphabettle that she's about to be crushed, expressing great concern for him despite barely talking to him. And then, of course, she stands by Sunny's side even after being offered to return to the kingdom and convince the Pegasi to love them again. Queen Haven offers this. She says, we can spin the story and they'll love us again. She's very confident that this will work, and so if you were selfish, you would leave with them. You would have left with them and just got what you wanted, right? But she doesn't. It almost feels like the people that are saying these things about Pipp completely forget what she did in the movie, or just want to cherry pick to hate her because of some other reason. Maybe because there's smartphones now and they blame her for that. I don't know. Still, I think we could have used another scene with her showing where and how and why she changed her mind. Instead, we got her being very angry during the day in the field and at the bridge or whatever, and then we cut to night and she just loves everyone. It is very jarring, and I'll admit that, but anything could have happened in a time skip, I guess. I mean, I really think we needed more time for that. So I didn't want to spend the entire video defending Pipp because I don't think this character needs defending, and there's more I want to say about Pipp, so let's move on. Pipp is really weird looking, right? Like, her wings are very, 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 very different from literally everyone's. They don't have a very good looking shape to them compared to the others. Hers are more roundish and almost like her wings are molting or something. It looks very weird. Maybe they are molting and it's part of some kind of life cycle that Pegasi have that we don't know about, and Pipp is just at that one specific age that we don't see any of the other characters at or something. I don't know, but still we don't see any other character with weird, roundish, fluffy, molty looking wings. And I mean molty as in like molting, not molty as in like multiple wings. Looking back at the song Pipp said was special to her, we can see these lyrics here. Everywhere that I've been, yeah, they say I'm different. Part of Pipp's confidence issues that were teased in the earlier part of the song could have come from this, the fact that she looks different. She's shorter and her wings are weird looking. They look different and she might have been teased for it her whole childhood, who knows? But she is good in her skin, meaning it doesn't bother her anymore. The song is telling us about her struggles, her relationship with Zip, her self-confidence issues, her desire to want to be adored by others instead of looked down on for her weird wings or anything else off about her. What does Pipp's wings mean? Well, they weren't able to fly until the end of the movie, so maybe it will make flying harder for her when she finally gets around to it. I mean, that's something that they wouldn't have been able to find out about since they couldn't do it before. But at the end of the movie, they do get to fly, and at the end of the movie, you can see that it does look harder for her to fly than her sister, which is understandable because Zip has this whole, like, more or less been practicing. But then we see the rest of the kingdom fly immediately after that, and even the kids are flying better than her. It looks really weird. It's almost like that does affect her in some way, and I'm very curious to see if we see that further on in the series. Will Pipp struggle with confidence issues again in the series due to being a weak flyer, where she is expected to be a strong flyer due to her royalty? I don't know, but she has been linked as the element of confidence, so we should expect more lessons on confidence from her. As for Pipp's phone, I suspect we'll see less and less of it as the series progresses, as she learns that her fans and fame aren't as important as friends, or alternatively learn that she doesn't need fans and fame to have confidence. I'm willing to bet that her phone will be very, very useful in their endeavors and very problematic in their endeavors for the main five's mission to make everyone like each other again. But who knows? These are just my thoughts on Pipp, which more or less my favorite character here. I relate to them a lot in different ways. I wish we got to see more of them, but there you have it. There's your video about Pipp. If you want to see more videos about different characters from the main five, let me know. I'm thinking about doing Zip next because I did a poll about different characters that I should do next, and Zip won that one so far. So maybe I'll do Zip next. Let me know if you want to see that in the comments below, and let me know what else you think about Pipp. Yeah, that's it. That's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. This was a little bit longer than I expected it to be, but I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, please do consider liking, subscribing, sharing, and doing all of those wonderful things like that. Because when you do those wonderful things like that, not only do you get access to wonderful content such as this, but you also get to become wonderful yourself. And I think we all want that. So do those wonderful things, and until next time, stay wonderful.